right, fellas. Here we go. We are back in the building. And give me 1 second. Let me get this echo out of here. All right, it's gone. Welcome to Big Brother, Little Brother, ladies and gentlemen. And right now we're just doing a post-game show for the Giants and the Steelers. And Isaiah got his fingers all in the screen. You know, somebody got to teach this guy streaming etiquette. Anyway, and Kevin is a Steelers fan. So we're going to have all perspectives on here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off, man. I guess we'll start off with, since it's the Giants show, we'll start off with the Giants perspective. Isaiah?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. What you see tonight? Tell me first what you did like.
So what I did like, we had a really good, strong first quarter. I was excited about the first quarter. We drove the ball. I don't think did we score 3 points on the first drive?
No.
Yes.
No, not on the first drive. Not on the first drive. We lost the ball. We picked up a few yards. We gave it back to them. Not gave it back to them. We gave it to them, and then they bumbled.
We fumbled it.
Yeah.
They bumbled. They fumbled, and then. And then instead of being able to plug it in on the 1 yard line, we got a field goal.
That hurt.
I'm not gonna lie. So like right there, again, even though we missed on that huge opportunity, supposed to get 7 on that. Again, still strong first quarter for the Giants. Especially a young team, young team with a brand new coach, brand new coordinators, brand new everything. Definitely strong first quarter. Second quarter was complete disaster. I think everything fell a little apart. I think Steelers were being more of a veteran team, being there before, knew what happened. They adjusted. They did what they had to do. Third quarter, we had a very, very strong chance. Didn't capitalize, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Fourth quarter, they were just running through the motions, and we didn't give up. We scored a touchdown. Made it look decent, but young team versus veteran team that knew what they had to do and did everything that they had to do right. Learning experience, but we'll be all right. Like I said, we're gonna get into it, but
Yeah. Now, I'm a couple of takeaways that I liked from the game. I'll start with the defense. We were able to get some pressure on Ben Roethlisberger.
I agree.
All right, you didn't have to sack him every time. It's going to be tough to sack him, but we were at least in his face. Made him run outside the pocket on a few occasions. That right there on the defensive side of the ball was good for me. Now, I felt like in the secondary, we had a couple of lapses, right? The secondary was supposed to be, very, improved, strong secondary. I felt like we had a couple of lapses there, so I was upset with that a little bit. I thought I saw some on the offensive side. I thought I saw some good things from Daniel Jones. Obviously, he had 2 turnovers. Almost had a fumble in that first half. It looked like it really could have been a fumble. If the Steelers would have reviewed it, I think it would have been ruled a fumble, but then we would have got the touchdown, so they decided not to review it, right? But I don't know. We couldn't muster up a running game. I mean, we couldn't muster up a running game at all. There was a lot of pressure. Once the Steelers recognized that they could get a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones, I think it was a wrap at that point. Late in that first half, they saw that they could really pressure Daniel Jones, and I think at that point, that's when the game was really kind of over. We got to do something with this line. That I don't know how many times I can say it. We really got to do something with this line.
Well, we're gonna save that for a little. We're gonna talk about it.
I guess we're gonna talk about it, but we got to do something with this line. Because they started really getting some pressure, dialing up the pressure, and it was coming quick. That pressure was coming quick, and there was not much that Daniel Jones could do sometimes. So, he made a couple of nice plays with his feet. getting outside, got outside the pocket, this, that, and the other thing. But we, we'll give it some time. This is like the first preseason game, basically. It was basically like the first preseason game. Am I satisfied? No, I'm not satisfied, but I'm not mad because this is yeah, of course. I want to win. You know what I mean? I want to win. And I thought it was there. I thought it could have been there. If it wasn't for that interception in the third quarter, after Daniel Jones, goes 19 plays down the field, that 19th play, instead of, throwing that ball out of bounds, he was outside the pocket. He was outside of the tackles. He could have grounded the ball with no penalties. Throws it up for grabs, basically. I see what he was looking at on the backside of the end zone. I seen it. I don't remember who it was who was doing a cross pattern, or just, kind of rushing to the sideline with Daniel Jones. And I could see what he was looking at. But, you got a defender coming behind you. So in order to gear up for that throw, you got to bring the ball back to the defender. Even if you're running to the left, you throw right-handed, so you got to gear up with the right. You got to bring the ball back to the defender to make that throw. You know what I'm saying?
So does the chime in with you, son? What I noticed too about the game. So Daniel Jones scored an extra 14 points. He had that before that horrendous interception at the goal line. He had a horrible interception in the opening drive of where T.J. Watt got the interception, and that was that was a very terrible one right there. And they scored off that. So again, right? Again with Daniel Jones, we were all worried about his fumbles. My man intercepted. Again, I was like we were talking about a little earlier. I was really upset that how the hell do two linemen have interceptions?
Yeah,
that should be almost. That's one thing that drives me crazy because it's to me DJ has to really step up this year, and things like that just can't happen. You can't drive 80-something yards right at the goal line. Listen, I understand people are going to say the arm thing. Listen, we get it. I understand it.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say the arm thing. He did get hit in the arm. I'm just going to say he's a young quarterback. And young quarterbacks are going to make young quarterback mistakes.
Yeah,
the only way that you learn not to make those mistakes is to do what? Make those mistakes. That's what we got to live through with a young quarterback. You're going to make those kind of mistakes because, who knows if the Giants would have scored a touchdown there, right? Maybe they would have scored a touchdown if he throws the ball in the dirt. Maybe gives us a chance. I don't remember what down it was, but either
it was third down, which if he would have took the sack, it would have been no. It was second down because it would have been third down if he would have just took the sack or just threw the ball away. So yeah, it was second down when he did that. So.
And so that's the importance, man, of knowing time, down, situation. And having a plan, it takes these kind of experiences before, quarterback already kind of has a plan. Not just a quarterback, any player has a plan. If I'm in this situation, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? It's learning experience. Learning experience. That's all I can chop it up to. That's all I can chop it up to. The two things that really so the good things I saw is, like I said, I saw some good things from Daniel Jones. I'm glad that we can get some pressure. We were able to get a little bit of pressure on Pittsburgh. I think we sacked Ben Roethlisberger once. One sack. I'm pulling up
twice.
Twice? I'm pulling up the stats now so we can look at the stats. But
It was twice. It was twice.
it was twice. Okay.
Because I know where one was B.J. Hill. I think one was Lorenzo Carter. No, the other one was what's that kid's name? The kid with the Leonard, the kid with the long hair. I forgot his name.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But it was those two. Those two got sacks.
Yeah.
Again, the defense did its job today. It's also
Sure as hell did.
I can't fully blame just Daniel Jones because that offense and Evan. I got to go on a little rant about Evan Ingram and the O-line. I won't even go on a rant about the O-line. The O-line's young, so I can understand why the O-line is bad. I expected them to be bad a couple games because they got to match and they got to learn and they got to run the plays and everything like that. Because right now they're just a very young team. I was saying before that Andrew Thomas and Hernandez are literally 20. I think they're less than 25 years old apiece.
Yeah.
So one's a rookie and one's like a couple years removed from being a rookie. So also too, what we got to understand is that one thing that made me mad, man, was Evan Ingram because he let a touchdown go, and the penalties he had, and all those mistakes he made, man, does not block him, man. It hurts a lot, man, with Evan Ingram. Sometimes, man, I love Evan Ingram because this guy can be a great offensive weapon, but sometimes this dude fundamentals just be so off sometimes, man. And it's just like him when he's on the field, it's frustrating because sometimes he doesn't catch. Like I remember when he's not injured, he doesn't catch the ball. There have been many times when I've seen him healthy, he doesn't catch the ball. And I seen today he gave up a touchdown. Today he was in the red zone. He could have got that touchdown. He got to. Evan Ingram has to play better, man. He has to play better.
How are you saying he gave it up? Because how are you saying he gave it up?
Are you talking? Yeah, Isaiah. Are you talking about the miscues that the receivers were getting? Because
there was a couple of drop because even in the beginning of the first quarter there were drop passes from Barkley, Ingram, and those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about. See, I'm just not even talking about Evan Ingram on this game, but I'm talking about Evan Ingram. What I've seen in the past years with him when he is healthy. Right. One of his main issues is that he doesn't hold on to the ball. Like I like today, right? And you could be a 50-50 call with that offensive. There's been really harping on offensive interference this year. But we had that big play from Barkley where he broke out with that little pass, that little screen pass, got the momentum going. Evan Ingram caught an amazing ball, and then boom, we got hit with offensive interference, stopped the momentum. It's just plays like that which again, that could be 50-50 because of the penalties. Because I know it can waver because some people wouldn't have called that, some people would have called that. So I understand those calls, so I do understand that.
I mean, the reason why I asked you that question is because that one play, he dropped it. I guess I don't know if you want to call it a drop. The pass was a little bit behind him, but he was supposed. Daniel Jones was rushing out to the right. He jumped outside the pocket to the right. Evan Ingram was supposed to be coming with him.
Yes.
Right? He didn't come with him. So Daniel Jones had to throw backwards across his body to try to get it there. So the pass was a little bit inaccurate. It wasn't Daniel Jones' fault. Evan Ingram's fault.
Yeah, see, but this is what I hate, especially with a lot of receivers and young receivers. And I get it, Evan Ingram's still fairly young, but man, I hate when, especially in football, man, where you don't finish your play. Finish your play, man. You got to, because a lot of times balls, everybody knows if you really pay attention to football, balls are not thrown to you. You got to get yourself open.
Mm-hmm.
There's a truly rare cases when you're just completely open. It's blown assignments most of the time. So, when you don't finish your routes, a lot of QBs don't go based on, you beating your man.
Right. They go on where you're supposed to be.
That's what I'm trying. Right. Yeah, exactly. They go on where you're supposed to be. That's why when people even I remember when Tom Brady threw that interception, he was more worried. He was like, you have to be there. If you were there, because Mike Ingram didn't finish running. And then sometimes I see that with Evan Ingram where you gotta play. You gotta play hard.
I
You know
hear
what I'm
you.
saying?
I get it. I
But
understand.
I'm not truly mad because it's the first game, but it's just things they got to work on to get better.
Well,
Right.
let me ask you this.
And also, we just got to remember, we got to keep in mind throughout everything that we're talking about, we just got to keep in mind that this is like the first preseason game.
Yep.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
So
And it's a young team. It's a young team.
Yeah.
It's not like us where we have seasoned veterans. It's a young team.
But let me the first drive of the game where the Giants punted the ball and I don't know the Pittsburgh receiver's name that muffed the pick.
Yeah. Jeez, damn it, I forget his name.
I think it's number 18.
What I'm thinking about that one is though they came out with a field goal in that with that first drive.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
they scored a touchdown. That's 4 points. Where it's going to be 26-20 in the fourth quarter instead of 26-16.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who knows where? Your defense is going to force Pittsburgh to give the ball back to you, where you have some type of time left on the clock. Who knows what could have happened there? That's
Justin, here, think about this though, Justin.
I'm trying to say it's so important for when you get to the red zone, when you're playing, when you know your defense is not that strong right now. Red zone trips, you have to come out with touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here, like I said, my biggest thing one of my biggest things was like you said, right? The guy muffed the punt. You're literally at the 1 yard line.
Give the ball.
You have. Well, here's the thing, though, right?
Give him Saquon.
Well, again, you got to go by the game and how it's feel. The feel of the game is that, man. Listen, I think both run games were trash. I think towards the end, the Steelers run game was better because it was garbage time, so they just picked up empty calories.
Well, okay, I can give you that. The Steelers rushed for 141 yards.
But tell me this though,
even sorry. I said the Steelers rushed for 141 yards. The Giants rushed for 29 yards.
I mean, listen,
okay.
Right there tells you if anybody ever wants to know how good a line is or how dominant a line is doing or how bad the line is doing, you just got to show them that stat.
Yeah.
You got to show them the stat of 29 yards versus 143 yards. The O-line just, that's the O-line, man.
Saquon Barkley, 15 attempts, 6 yards. In the first half, he was negative, what was he? Negative 6 yards, negative whatever yards in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, that was terrible. That was just terrible.
And also
dating back to last season, Sam, look what you said about Saquon Barkley. 15 touches, he had the ball. This is dating back to last season. Your best offensive player on the New York Giants, without a shadow of a doubt, is Saquon Barkley. A player with his caliber and his talent, I don't care how bad of an offensive line is, shouldn't you be touching the ball over 20 carries a game?
Justin, just to rebuttal that, right? So you gotta understand, man. When you're getting dominated, like I knew maybe within the second quarter that we're not gonna be good at running the ball tonight. You can see it. You can see that literally every time Saquon touched the ball, there were at least seven white jerseys in the backfield already. Every time he touched the ball. Yep. So when you have a situation like that with football, man, you just gotta. It's good to say run the ball. It is. Trust me. Saquon Barkley is but listen, I don't give a damn if you're Elmond Smith, Walter Payton. Every running back has a bad game. There are times where the defense is just better. It goes like that's football.
Okay, so let me ask the three of y'all. Let me ask you this: were you satisfied with the play calling that Garrett was calling?
Honestly, at right now, I can't. I don't even know right now. And the reason why I say that is because I need to see later on in the season. This is not even basically a preseason game. I need to see later on in the season how he's calling the game. Once he really gets used to, once he can really see what guys can do. When he figures out, or maybe he's already figured out, Evan Ingram might have been blocking perfectly in practice. But when he figures out maybe he can't block in a game, then let's see what he does. Let's see how what kind of work they do with the offensive line. How they try to bring that thing together.
Well,
if they're going to be able to bring it together. So I can't say if I'm satisfied yet or not. I need to see.
I can't say nothing.
The one thing with Garrett, and they said it on the broadcast, is that he loves to utilize the tight ends. And for a while, it seemed like he was doing that, doing that for y'all. The tight ends were really, getting involved.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you got Evan Ingram, you better get him involved. When you looking at the stats right now, listen, Slayton, I really like Slayton, but Slayton had 102 receiving yards. Evan Ingram received 2 touchdowns, 102 receiving yards for Darius Slayton. Evan Ingram, 7 targets, 2 catches for 9 yards. But obviously, guys like Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley, listen, the Steelers know about these guys, right? So they're going to cue in on them, and you need some other people to step up. Sterling Shepard in the first half stepped up. He was 6 targets, 6 receptions for 47 yards.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley had 9 targets, 6 receptions, 60 yards. He had that one big play. Listen, I love when I watch Saquon Barkley run, but this jumping in the air over top of people,
he got to stop doing
that. Come on,
that.
man. You got to chill out, man, because you're going to get banged. You're going to get hurt.
Every time
he's going to get hurt.
It scares me when he jumps in the air, and I'm like, he's one pop in the knee away from getting hurt.
Exactly.
Well, I think if I'm Joe Judge and I'm Saquon's running back coach, I'm pulling them to the side. I'm like, hey, we need you, man.
Right.
This is 16 games. I get it. You're trying to. You know what it is. You know what it was to me was what I see.
Real quick with that, if that's what he's been doing his, pretty much his whole career, when he did it at Penn State and he's doing it here, there's really not much you can do.
Yeah, but
no.
He did that a lot. He did that a lot at Penn State, but the difference between Penn State defensive college and NFL, NFL defense is a lot more.
Yeah, so
harder to handle.
So Kev, right, here's the thing, right? Like Justin said, Saquon was a grown man in college. He was facing other little boys. He's facing little boys. These just grown men. And someone said it during the podcast. Someone said it during the game that I think it was Debo. What was it? I forgot the line guy that kept abusing us today. But he was waiting for Saquon to get in the air to pop.
Yeah, I saw that.
So my thing is that, listen, I think a big reason why he did that tonight, I think Saquon was frustrated that he wasn't getting the holes he wanted, and he wasn't getting out there. So I think he was really trying to make something out of nothing, which, listen, I understand it, but I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the explosive play. You're trying to, do it. But if you're on the sidelines trying to do that, dude, stop. It's just stupid because they're just going to push you out, pop you, and then your knee's going to be done. And then we need him, so he has to do better. And I hope his running back coach and Coach Judge told him that.
So Isaiah, what you just said, is that a product? Was that a product of what we were throwing at y'all, or was that a product of Garrett, or was it a product of of Jones?
So give all credit. See, again, this is where I give all credit to the Steelers for playing an amazing defensive game and controlling the line of scrimmage. Because at the end of the day, if you control the line of scrimmage, you pretty much almost win the game, almost 10 out of 10. The battle of the trenches is where you win football games. And for them to dominate the way they did the whole game, I think, again, that was more on Yad versus, the O-line being bad today and, Daniel Jones and Jason Garrett. It was your line, because at the end of the day, if your line doesn't distribute anything, there's none of that. So your line gets all the credit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just that third quarter, y'all had I want to see what the time of possession was for that third quarter, because y'all pretty much marched down, all the way down until the end of
y'all went 3 and out which I think y'all went 3-0, which was like, if I'm timing it, probably like 15 to 13, 30, probably. We probably got the ball back 13 minutes, and then we probably took about 6 minutes off the game clock with our drive, and then it was all for nothing.
Look, for the game, the time of possession wasn't bad. The Steelers had the ball for 31 minutes, 44 seconds. The Giants for 28 minutes and 16 seconds. It's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
When you're talking for the game.
Hey, compared to little brother, how many 3-and-outs did Jets?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Literally, I mean, that's why I'm saying I think Jones probably had a better PR rating than what Darnold had yesterday.
Listen, Jones to me, besides the interceptions, which were huge, but
there were only two. One I thought
I wouldn't say only two, because those two were really huge. Those are like really young mistakes. But
the first one I don't think was a mistake. I think Watt just happened to be there. I really do.
Look, Daniel Jones was 26 for 41 for 279 yards. He threw 2 interceptions. Quarterback rating 79.2. Ben Roethlisberger tonight is 21 for 32, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns, 117.8 quarterback rating. I don't know if I mentioned it, but of course Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns. Just an overall, we're doing overall look at the stats. Overall look at the stats, just, some final individual stats. I think we mentioned the rushing yards, 29 rushing yards for the Giants. Just doesn't get it. It's not going to get it. A total of 279 passing yards. I mean, the Steelers had 229 passing yards. So, we really needed to get that ground game going.
That's what I'm saying.
Really needed to get that ground game going.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, I always felt like when you got your best player as a running back, I always felt like you need to give that player the ball more than 15. I mean, I understand that, they were controlling the line of scrimmage, great, but I always feel like when you know that the Giants defense is they're not going to be a top 5 defense or an elite defense. They should be okay. But I feel like you need to give Saquon the ball more than 15 times. So it not only will it help manage the game, but it's going to help protect your defense from staying on the field.
Yeah, it's just I just think it was hard because they weren't. I mean, they were tackling. I mean, they were getting them down for negative yards on every possession.
Yeah, you know
what I'm saying?
It was bad, man. I mean, you're talking about we lost. I was literally looking about it, man. We were losing 3 to 4 yards when Saquon touched the ball, and then that right there positions us to be in 2nd and 12s, and then we'll try to pass. We get a deflection. Now we're 3rd and 12. Now we gotta pray that we get a 3rd down conversion. This is just when you don't establish I get what you're saying, Justin, but it's so hard to establish a run game when it's just you're getting dominated so bad, man. Like it was just pure. It was just pure domination, man. It was pure domination.
I'm not gonna evaluate. It's like what Sim said. It's preseason, week 1. I'll answer Kevin's question at week 3 about how we feel about Jason Garrett's play call.
Exactly.
And Justin, I see what you were saying about you have your best offensive weapon, because that's what we did when we had Bell. We would always establish that run. He knew he was getting it and everything, and then it was easy to get the ball to Antonio Brown because everyone was concentrating on Bell so much that sometimes they forget, and then it's like you got to pick your poison. So
right.
we were looking,
and every time Le'Veon Bell every time they played when Le'Veon Bell was in Pittsburgh, you got to admit he would have the ball over 20 times a game. Even if he had a bad game, 25 carries for 75 yards, he had the ball 25 carries though.
Well, the beauty of those mid-2000 Steelers teams was that, a great passing game equals a great running game. Right. when you had a generational talent of Le'Veon Bell and a good offensive line, I mean, like Kevin said, that opens up for the Antonio Browns, the Juju Smiths, the Santonio Holmes. When you have these running backs that can do that, and you can establish the run, your passing games opens up. I mean, that's football 101. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, it's just like, again, man. Like Sim said.
That other running back I was talking about earlier, Martavius Bryant. That was the other one that went to the Patriots and won the Super Bowl with them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen. I don't know.
It's the game. Listen. I think it's week one, like you said, Sim.
It's week one, but it's not week one. But
it's really not. This is
right.
These first 3 to 4 games are literally people's preseason games. That's why people like jumping the gun with Tom Brady, and I know people. Tomorrow you're gonna hear the headlines about the Giants and Coach Judge and is it working and Jerry. You're gonna hear all these things, but it's like a lot of these people don't understand football. And again, I was telling Sim earlier that it's almost you're asking these players to perform, and they have not had proper training to play to the highest of their abilities.
I mean, I guarantee you, coming this week, you're going to see a lot of roster cuts. They're going to make a lot of cuts where they're going to know we don't want this player like that.
Exactly. Because think about it. In the preseason, in 4 preseason games, what you'll see probably the starters probably play 1 or 2 series, and then it's they'll sit out, and then they'll let whoever needs a job, play, and then do the final cuts right after the 4th preseason game, and then when the season starts, your quarterback is well seasoned and everything and ready to go.
Think about it this year, right? So this year, usually a typical off season for NFL, you have 90 players. You have 4 games to cut that 90 to 53. This year, you had to literally cut these players, and you have to base that off training camp.
Yeah,
you don't base it off of game situations in preseason. You don't base that off playing against different people, different jerseys. So this year is going to be very tough because there might be players that shouldn't be playing. There might be players that shouldn't be playing for this team. There might be a player that should be playing for a different team with a different system. It's just a lot, and again, it's just a lot.
You saw people getting cut week 1 of the of training camp. Usually, it takes about 2 preseason games to say, okay, yeah, we got to get him out.
Also to remember this, and whatever. Remember that there's a lot of players opted out.
Yes,
that's a very big thing. There's a lot of players.
I don't know how that impacts the Giants, but.
Well, it impacted them because I know a few people, like what's his name, the freaking tackle. He sucks, but he's Nate Soldier, right? I hate Nate Soldier. I really do. That dude sucks. But we could have used him tonight, being a veteran who understands the game. It's just little things like that, though, right? But again, you got to take account for all this, bro. Again, it's week 1. Everybody, it's week 1. It's fine.
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna tell you what. A couple of people though that I feel excited about. Obviously, you got Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. I'm really excited about Slayton, and I'm really excited about Peppers. I feel like in that return game. When we really get going, I feel like Peppers is going to be. I think he's gonna help us on special teams.
Your special teams is on the money tonight.
I think he's gonna help us on special teams.
Our special teams suck. We kept putting y'all on the 40-yard, the 40-yard line. Y'all had great field position.
Yeah, Julius Peppers. He had 39 yards in punt returns. Right, his longest was 20 yards. Longest carry was 20 yards. But I feel like when we really get going, he's going to do some things for us in the special teams. And that a young team like this, if he can get us, he can get us at the 30, 35, the 40. and even more can really help us moving forward, especially
Tim,
a team that may struggle in the red zone, which I think we're going to struggle in the red zone. I feel like we're going to struggle in the red zone this year. So our best chance in scoring may be longer plays. You know what I'm saying? Flash plays. You know what I'm saying? From the 30. So
Sim, I'm calling it now, Sim. Jabel Peppers is going to get a punt return touchdown. I'm calling. He's going to get one. Who else you said? Listen, Lorenzo Carter, man, this kid, when I seen him today, I'm like, okay, he had the chance to make a Pro Bowl.
And I called him Julius Peppers. I meant Jabril Peppers. Julius Peppers is someone.
Man, you want the Knicks to be on the football field,
Julius Peppers is a defensive end.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I was thinking about Julius Peppers myself. That's true.
But yeah, man, listen, it's
just gonna be a long year though if we struggle with the red zone. If you struggling in the red zone, it's a no. Cannot do that.
Well, here's the thing though, right? The way to get better in the red zone, you got to get Daniel Jones some time. You got to get established a run. So, look.
Hey, at least y'all got to the red zone. The Jets didn't even get to the red zone. I like that.
Listen, the Jets. All right, let's talk about the Jets a little bit. Let's talk about little brother for a little bit. All right, and we don't have any Jets fans here in the chat, but we'll get them here. Listen, it was expected that they were going to lose to the Bills. They lost 27-17.
Honestly, man, let me say the funny thing about
the Jets are rebuilding just like the Giants.
But you know what's funny about the Jets, though? Everybody's the Jets got this great defense, that'll shut you down. They're so great. Man, you gave up 27 points to the Buffalo Bills. Come on.
Exactly. And
don't sleep on the Bills, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping on the Bills, but what I'm saying is, though, the Jets defense is so great. And meanwhile, how many games they won last year?
Case closed.
No.
Case closed.
Listen,
the thing.
Sam Darnold, 21 for 35, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I mean, similar numbers. I mean, he only had 1 interception. He only had 1 touchdown.
How many times was he chased out the pocket?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, that's that line. Those lines, man. You got to have a line.
I'll take Daniel Jones.
You got to have a line. Bell. I mean, when you look at what they did, it looks a lot like the Giants. As a matter of fact, they had more rushing yards than the Giants, to be honest with you. They had 52 rushing yards.
Giants had more heart than the Jets did. They did.
They had more rushing yards than the Giants, man.
Honestly, I'm really disappointed in the Jets because they were all, like Justin was saying, they talked all that, smack, how they were going to be changed, that the culture was going to be different, and you're playing Buffalo. Now, here's the thing. They played Buffalo last year. They were leading Buffalo, and Buffalo came all the way back and beat them. This year, Buffalo just said, yeah, we're going to put the smack down on these guys, right now, and that's exactly what happened. There was never a time where you thought, oh, maybe, they could pull this game out. At least with the Giants, you thought that they could, that they had a chance against Pittsburgh.
Right.
You didn't feel that yesterday.
Well, that's true. That's true. We're talking big brother, little brother, and cousins.
Who's the cousins?
The Buffalo Bills.
Sam, the funniest thing, Sam? People really forget the Bills are a New York team.
I know.
That'd be the whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what though, man? I think because I remember Gamma was talking about it a little earlier. Man, they don't fire Adam Gates, man. I mean, they gotta fire that dude. That dude is literally the worst coach in the NFL.
And that's an offense that I can't even trust. I don't even trust the Jets offense.
Well, Le'Veon Bell's going to be out for a couple of weeks now.
He's going to be out. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
what are you gonna
Gore.
do?
So Gore is gonna handle the load.
Oh my God,
Gore's gonna handle the load.
Frank Gore, my Jesus.
How old is Frank Gore now?
He gotta be. Oh, let me look it up real quick.
34, 35.
Because I know he's top 5 in running.
Look, King E161 said the Bills are the real big brothers. Right now they are. Right now they are because, out of the 3 New York teams, they're the best.
Hey, yo, he's 37 years old.
Frank Gore is 37.
And he's going to be the number 1 running back for the Jets. Oh, man.
37 years old. Wow.
Listen.
Well, maybe they'll pick up. What happened to Adrian Peters? Where did Adrian Peters go?
To the Lions.
Oh, he went to the Lions. Okay. I was going to say, maybe they pick up Adrian Peters for a spell.
After they should have. Listen, man. They got 37 Frank Gore. Oh, my. Listen, Guillermo turning over in his grave right now.
Hey guys, I gotta go. So I will
talk
to you next one, guys. Again, y'all played a great game tonight. All right, I'm not no BS. Y'all played a really good game. Y'all put the heart in there.
Kevin, shut up.
All right, Kevin. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye, Kev.
When you think that, have a good day.
All right, Kev. So let's talk about moving forward because next week, you think we played a tough defense tonight.
Oh my God.
We play Chicago next week.
Khalil Mack, Jesus Christ.
We play Chicago next week.
You want to know what's something crazy though, Sim, about Khalil Mack? He's a really great defensive player. But sometimes he doesn't have a full motor. That's one thing about Khalil Mack. Like he'll go hard the first down, second down. Sometimes he gives up on the third down. But it's gonna be listen, man. Giant fans, it don't get easier. The only thing,
it's not gonna get easier. Look, I'm gonna read off the schedule here. All right, let's take a look at the schedule. We got Chicago next week. Then we got San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Then we got the Rams.
Wow. Oh my God. Jesus.
Then we got Dallas.
No.
Dallas is in week 5?
Dallas is in week 5. And then we play Washington. So I don't know, listen.
Sam, do you know what you just said? You know what's crazy?
And then after we play Washington, we play Philly. And then Tampa Bay. Then Washington. Then Philly. Then we play the Bengals. We play the Seahawks. The Cardinals.
Oh, man.
Who's got there? The Browns, the Ravens, and the Cowboys. Oh, man.
Sim.
Oh, man.
I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but I'm going to shut my mouth.
Hey, Sim, do you know what you just said?
What I just said?
You said defensive line gets better each week. Like the defensive
Tell me
line
about it.
The defensive line literally gets better each week. Like someone made a good point on the entertainers show tonight that I
shout out to the entertainer, man.
Yeah, shout out to the entertainer and Bad Dog, man. Great guys, man. They said, yo, man, if Daniel Jones has a bad season, there's probably almost a guarantee get him and gets fired.
He gets fired.
You think so? I don't know.
Here's the thing. Well, he's linked to Daniel Jones.
Right.
He picked him 6 when.
Okay.
At the time, everybody was shocked. But someone said that if he has which I don't think Daniel Jones, because even based off this game, if you really look at the game, I mean, like again, besides those 2 boneheaded interceptions, the dude played a good game.
Yeah.
So I don't think. I mean, personally, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to have a bad year.
I don't think so either.
But I thought it was interesting. But yeah, man, this. That
schedule looks scary. just knowing how young we are, schedule looks scary. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and like. All right, this is okay. So let me ask you, Justin. I want to get it from you. Big brother, little brother. That's the name of the channel, right? And hopefully it's going to become a network on Sportscaster. We'll get to that. We are streaming on Sportscaster right now as well. All right, big brother, little brother, and the initials is 3BL. How you feel about those initials?
3BL.
3BL. That's the initials. That's the initials. You know, because big brother, little brother. You got 3 B's and an L in there. I didn't want to do BBLB. That just sounded stupid.
Sound like a Pornhub site. Sound like a Pornhub category.
Yo, we know what you're doing after the show. See, come on, man. Come on, Isaiah.
Oh man. Listen,
so 3BL.
Yeah.
Right, and then the logo. You guys can see the logo at the top of the screen. It's a 3, a B, and an L.
Yeah, why not? Get a symbol of the Giants on top and everybody else on the bottom.
Right. Now, do we need to add, and we got to find, I spoke with someone who's going to hopefully do some content with us for the Rangers. We'll get someone to do the Islanders. We're going to get content, we're going to get different people that's doing content for each one of the teams, right? I mean, of course, I'll be doing Knicks. Already got nothing but Knicks, so however I do it, I'll figure out a way that I'm going to be doing it on both channels. The Giants, we got that covered. All right, we got to get some Nets, Jets. So we got to get some people covered. We got to get some of the teams covered on here, but we'll get it covered sooner or later where we're getting content from people. And if you are a creator and you feel like you can do one of these teams, talk to us. Let us know. But
I shared the link with my boy, man. He's a huge Jets fan. I'm dying for him to get on this right now.
Get him on here. That's what we need. Get him on here. Get him on here.
I tried to get him on it.
Get him on here. Get him on here. And that's what we missed in the preseason too. That annual Giants-Jets preseason game. We missed it. We didn't get that this year. We usually get a Giants-Jets preseason game. We didn't get that this year. But let me ask you, Isaiah, before you fall asleep, I see you getting tired. Are we going to add the Bills to the lineup?
Nah.
The Bills and the Sabres to the lineup?
Man, that's our cousin, man. That's our cousin that we don't see. We only see them at the family reunion, so we're not on that. That's our cousin.
3BLC.
But you know what, though? I get people, but here's my thing, right? There's not that many Bills fans where they it's really upstate New York people that are Bill fans. Bill fans.
Of course. I mean, so what? I mean, I get that. Yeah. I mean, I get that.
I mean, you know what, man? I guess we love all our families, so we can accept our cousin from the married side. Come on.
Yeah, so it could be like, their parents had issues or whatever. They came and lived with us.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Because Canada not taking them in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're not taking them in.
The cousins are outshining right now.
Canada, the father that stay at the steps.
See, look, Enrico said the Bills are a Canadian team. They're not. I mean, they play in Toronto from time to time. They play in Toronto from time to time, but they're not a Canadian team. And then King E161 keeps saying for the 100th time that the Bills are a real New York team. Well,
oh my God.
The Giants and Jets, they do play in Jersey though, right?
I hate that one too, in Jersey. Sam, I had a legit argument with my friends. They're like, yo, y'all don't play in New York, right? Y'all the only team don't play in the city. I'm like, yo, dude, you need arenas and you literally know how many arenas are in New York that are in that area of the 5 boroughs. You got Shea Stadium, you got Yankee Stadium, you got the Knicks, you got the Nets, you got Like, yo, where you want all these people to stay? Where you want all these stadiums to go? And then it's like, yo, Jersey's right there. East Rutherford's right there.
Rico said they're closer to Canada than NYC, but they're in New York State though.
Yeah, New York State.
Anyway, we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them too.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll give Buffalo props with the addition of Stephon Diggs, man. They looked it pretty good. Good.
Yeah, man.
They were facing the Jets.
Man. That AFC East. I mean, I don't know what the Patriots are going to be like with Tom Brady gone.
I got to give a shout out to Cam Newton though, because he played excellent yesterday. He played great.
How do you think that's going to work? I know one of my buddies, one of my best friends. He's a Patriots fan. How's that going to work?
I did not think it was
Cam and
work.
Bill Belichick. You think it's going to work?
I think it will.
I think they're going to run a lot of run action with Cam. There's not going to be a lot of passing, which, the last couple of years, it really wasn't. Like, if you pay attention, they were more of a run-heavy team. Like, the last few years when Tom Brady was losing his arm, they were a running team. They run by committee. And Cam Newton, I hate to say it because he's not a running back, but they're going to use him like one. They're going to use he's mobile, and they're going to put him in a lot of good red zone situations where, they're going to just run the ball down your throat, and I think it's going to be really well.
He had 2 rushing touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Cam, man. I think Cam is going to be a really good player this year, and to me, it's between him, Big Ben, and that kid from the Cowboys, Alden Smith, is going to be comeback player of the year, man. But that dude, Alden, let me say something, man. I don't like the Cowboys, but that dude, Alden Smith, if this dude, I mean, the way he dominated that game and he hasn't played football in 5 years, that's not normal.
Nobody saw that coming.
They're gonna joy touch that boy because that's not normal. There shouldn't be no reason how you come back 5 years of not playing professional football and dominate like that. But those three, they're gonna be fighting for comeback player of the year.
Well, look, I mean, I have no doubt that the Patriots are still going to be good, but now's about the time, now's about the time when the Jets and the Bills can be looking to say, well, not the Jets right now, but it could be happening in New England where they start to drop a little bit. Now it's about the time where teams got to start looking to say it's our time to take over that division because they've been ruling the division for umpteen years. So who knows? We'll see if someone steps up. It's not going to be the Jets right now. We know that.
Oh, hell no.
Maybe the Bills.
I mean, listen, I would wholeheartedly not be surprised if the Patriots won a division again. I wouldn't.
Oh, well, I mean,
but I got the Bills winning it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots won it.
Mm-hmm. Belichick is going to have a lot of. I guarantee you, he has a lot of plays cooked up for Cam himself.
Yeah.
Here's the funniest thing, right? Why would? Oh my God, this is a killer with the NFL. Why would you let Bill Belichick get a former MVP as a quarterback?
Because he's Bill Belichick.
Like, man, that'd be killing me sometimes.
I mean, what they gonna do? Step in and say no? I mean,
but what other team was going after Cam?
Right. That's what Bill Belichick does. I don't know if you needed to reclaim Cam's career, but that's what he does.
And then what other team wanted Cam where they was going to say, okay, Cam, you're going to be our starter.
Right.
Like every team right now in the NFL got their quarterback. Yeah. Every team got their quarterback.
All right. So anyway, but before we get out of here, just real quick, one more time, a look at the schedule, the Giants' schedule.
Don't say it again.
Oh man.
Don't
I don't
say
know.
it again.
How many wins? Okay, let's go over real quick. See how many wins we got. We already know we got a loss against the Steelers. The Bears. Win, loss. What do you got? Loss?
That's a L.
All right. San Francisco.
That's a major L.
The Rams.
Next.
No.
Okay, so we starting off already 0-4 before we even touch division games.
Yep.
Dallas.
You know what's crazy, man? Division games, it don't matter the record because you can
True.
win them.
That's true.
I'm gonna say, go ahead, Isaiah.
I'm gonna say we get a win.
The Rams just beat
say-
Dallas 20-17.
Well, here's the thing though, Jared Goff is still the quarterback. Jared Goff is still the quarterback. Well, Dak. Nah, you know what? We're gonna lose because for some reason, man, I don't know what it is with Dak Prescott and the Giants, but this dude lights us up, man.
Yeah,
Dallas, I'm gonna say with Dallas, a close loss.
Okay.
I changed my mind. I give that a close loss too.
A close loss. 0-5.
That's 0-5 going into the Washington game.
We always play good against
You know
Washington.
what?
I'm gonna say
I was gonna say
W.
win, but Dwayne Haskins, wow. The
Yo,
way he
and,
played yesterday,
and their defense,
0-6.
obviously you don't know what can happen between now and then. And their defense, you know, that defensive line, you know, knowing just looking at tonight and the way our offensive line is, and then looking at their defensive line and the way they can put pressure on the ball, it's scary, bro. That could be scary. That's possibly 0-6, man.
I think that's a good 0-6.
That's not encouraging because then you got Philadelphia next.
We never play for. You know what? No, Philly's gonna regress this year. We're gonna win.
Okay.
I'll give the Giants the win. All
Okay.
right.
We're gonna take a win against either Washington or Philly. We'll get a win.
I'll give them the win.
I believe that. I believe we'll get a win out of one of those two teams.
One of those two teams between Washington and Philly, we get a win.
I say Philly.
All right. Enrico Suave says, I'll just say Enrico Suave. I ain't gonna say Enrico. He says we beat the Bears.
Well, only way we beat the Bears is, well, damn, they do got Michael Trubisky. Oh man, listen. Sometimes I can't be too mad being a Giants fan because at least I'm not a Bears fan. Where they traded up to get Trubisky and they could have gotten Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. So I don't know.
I mean, one of those. You don't think we can pick off one of these teams between Chicago, San Francisco, LA, and Dallas? We can pick off one of those.
You know what would be surprising, Sam? It could be the 49ers. And I say that because of the famous I say that because of the Super Bowl hangover. Even though they didn't win, teams really regress when they go to the Super Bowl for some odd reason.
So you saying they're going to beat the 49ers?
They lost to the Cardinals.
Cardinals always play tough against San Francisco, though.
I think we will pick off one of those teams. I think we'll pick off one of those teams, and then we'll beat one of the division rivals. So of those first 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because then we got Tampa Bay on November 2nd. I
say 2-6.
All right, 2-6 there. Okay. Probably 2-6. We'll pick off one of those teams, and then we'll beat one of our division rivals. And then November 8th, we come back with Washington.
We're gonna split with Washington.
Yeah, we'll probably split with Washington, hopefully. And then we got Philly again. Who knows what Philly's gonna be like?
I want to say we sweep Philly for the first time in like 30 years.
You think we're gonna sweep Philly? You think we'll sweep Philly?
There's
Okay.
no fans in the stands, thank God.
And due to the fact that Carson Wentz is not an elite quarterback, I don't think he's going to play. I think he's going to have a bad year this year. So I say sweep for him.
Bengals. I think we
can beat the
Bengals. Seahawks.
Nope.
No way. No.
Cardinals.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't beat them. We didn't beat them yesterday. They embarrassed us last year.
I'm gonna give them a win. I'll give the Giants a win.
Okay. Browns.
So
is that the Browns right there?
Oh, we gonna whoop the Browns.
Yeah, I get the. Oh God, yeah.
And then you got the Ravens and the Cowboys.
Nope, we're gonna end that season in 2 high L's.
So
Ravens and Cowboys.
we got the Ravens on December 27th and the Cowboys on January 3rd.
Only way we beat
Cowboys.
only way we beat the Ravens is if they already clinched the division and they got the number 1 seed and they don't play Lamar Jackson.
Right.
That's
the only way I see us beating the Ravens.
Right.
And even then, they usually don't rest defensive players. So
what are we looking at? 4 to 5 wins?
Yeah, 5. I'd say we're gonna go 5-11.
Yeah.
I hope 5-11, but I'm thinking more towards 4-12.
5-11, 4-12, something like that.
I go 5-11.
It's gonna be tough.
They play Cincinnati, you said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get. Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one, man. I don't know.
I say they sweep Philly, but split with Dallas.
I mean, I feeling like, and maybe what we shouldn't be looking for is, are they gonna be, I think we should probably just be looking for development, right?
Well, this year it should be about developing the O-line. That should be, to me, developing the O-line is the number 1 priority. Because if you develop that O-line, and Daniel Jones is going to develop as well. If you get the better O-line, it gives him more time to, look down the field and all that stuff. I will say one thing that I don't think people noticed, which I was really happy about when Daniel Jones started running. He took the ball with 2 hands when he was going down, and that was a huge sign. That was a huge sign of him working on his fumbling. Because I think a lot last year was him just holding the ball with 1 hand and him not having that strength yet as a man and as a runner to secure the ball. And I think I'm glad that I seen that when he was running today, that he held the ball with 2 hands.
Yeah,
I feel like the offense is gonna be. I think the offense is gonna be a lot better this year. But like I said, I mean, Darius Slayton though, he really did shock me today. So I feel like he might take over the, rise above Shepard. Because him and Daniel Jones today looked like they were on a great connection today.
Well, they've been having that connection since they first got here. Since they both.
But everybody's expecting Shepard to be the guy, be the man.
Oh,
right.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Justin. I didn't think that. I thought Darius Slayton was gonna be the man.
I feel
me personally
taking that spot though, and I feel like and if Slayton could be a threat, then you could respect that offensive. I mean, you could respect the passing game a whole lot more now. You know what I mean? But I mean, I hope that they get, at least, maybe through the draft or through a trade. I think they're like one legitimate wide receiver away from becoming a huge threat.
And let's take a look at the Jets schedule. Of course, they lost to the Bills this week. They play San Francisco next week. They play the Colts week 3. Week 4, they play the Denver Broncos. Week 5, they play the Cardinals. Week 6, they play the Los Angeles Chargers. Week 7, they play the Bills again. Week 8, they play the Chiefs. Week 9, they play the Patriots. Week 10, they play Miami Dolphins. They got a bye for Week 11. Week 12, they play the Miami Dolphins. Okay, so they're playing them back-to-back. Oh, my goodness. I forget about this. Week 13, they play the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, they don't play the Patriots till Week 9. Wow.
Right, Week 9. I keep forgetting. And, I'm looking at the scores and I see, and I'm seeing LSV or whatever it was, and I'm like, who in the world is that? I keep forgetting it's Las Vegas Raiders now. Then they play the Seahawks, the Rams, the Browns, and then the Patriots again. I don't know. They're probably around 3 or 4 wins as well. 3, 4, maybe 5 if they can eke something out. I don't know. That's what can you do, man? What can you do?
They play San Francisco next week, right?
Yeah, they play San Francisco next week.
That's an 0-2. Then the Colts, you said?
They play San Francisco, then the Colts.
I give them 1-2 the first 2-3 weeks.
And then the Broncos.
Yeah.
So
You know
anyway.
what, Denver? I'm gonna say before you go, I'm gonna say 2-2. I think they'll beat the Broncos.
Okay. Well, look. Before I get out of here, just one announcement for these Met fans out here. If you haven't seen it earlier, the Sterling partners have signed an agreement with Stephen Cohen, pursuant to which Mr. Cohen would purchase the New York Mets. The sale transaction is subject to approval by Major League Baseball. Mr. Cohen said, "I'm excited to have reached an agreement with the Wilpon and Katz families to purchase the New York Mets." So there you have it, the New York Mets.
It ain't A-Rod.
Huh?
It ain't Jennifer Lopez or A-Rod.
It is not Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod, right? Yeah, I read they were mad that they were upset. I guess who wouldn't be? But there you go. The Mets are about to change ownership, ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes the man. James Dolan gonna be next.
Oh yeah, right. That's not happening. People can forget about that.
I need people to understand, right? You have to offer that man $5 billion just to match what he gets for the Knicks.
Right.
So if you got $10 billion, God bless you.
Well, he doesn't get $5 billion. They're worth $5 billion.
Yeah.
But But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button.
Yes,
and,
sir.
Isaiah and I are going to chop it up about, when we are going to jump on and what kind of schedule we're going to have. So, we'll let you know. Just make sure you're looking out for those notifications. When you hit those notifications, make sure you subscribe to all so that you can get everything. And those who are on Sportscaster, make sure you follow us on Sportscaster. And appreciate you guys for joining in, man. Any last words y'all want to get out there?
All I'm going to say is, low big brother. There you go.
3BL. Sounds like it's a basketball league. 3BL. That's what it sounds like.
You're going to have LeVar Ball. You're going to have LeVar Ball in here trying to sue you.
You know what I'm saying? Right. All right, man. I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.